They were icons who lit up the world with their talent, beauty, and spirit. But behind the fame were struggles we could not see, and their lives ended in ways we never expected. From sudden accidents to silent battles, their departures left the world in shock and sorrow. These are the stars we lost too soon gone, but never forgotten. Princess Diana wasn't just a royal figure, she was the people's princess, a symbol of grace and compassion who captured the hearts of millions across the world. She used her platform to shine a light on causes that were often ignored: the stigma surrounding AIDS patients, the plight of landmine victims, and the struggles of children in poverty. Diana's willingness to hug the sick, comfort the wounded, and speak openly about her own vulnerabilities broke barriers in the royal tradition of distance and formality. But behind her radiant smile and charitable work lay a life filled with heartache. Her marriage to Prince Charles was marred by betrayal and loneliness, and the press never gave her peace. Every detail of her private life was turned into headlines. Still, Diana continued to carry herself with elegance, becoming a beacon of empathy and strength for people who saw their own struggles reflected in hers. On the 31st of August 1997, tragedy struck. While fleeing relentless paparazzi through the streets of Paris, the car carrying Diana crashed inside the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. She was just 36 years old. The shocking news spread across the globe within minutes. Millions mourned, and her funeral was watched by billions, making it one of the most emotional moments in modern history. Diana's death wasn't just a royal loss, it was a collective heartbreak. To this day, flowers still pile up at her memorials, a testament to a life that ended too soon but left an everlasting legacy of love and humanity. Michael Jackson wasn't just the king of pop, he was a cultural force who redefined music, performance, and global entertainment. With iconic albums like Thriller, Bad, and Dangerous, and hits such as Billie Jean and Beat It, he transformed music videos into cinematic art and made dance an inseparable part of pop culture. His electrifying moonwalk, glittering glove, and boundless creativity made him the most famous entertainer on earth. But behind the spotlight, Michael's life was far from easy. From childhood stardom in the Jackson 5, he grew up under immense pressure, robbed of a normal youth. Fame brought unimaginable wealth, but also crushing scrutiny, endless lawsuits, and relentless speculation about his personal life. For decades, he lived under the microscope, a man adored by fans yet haunted by controversy and loneliness. On the 25th of June 2009, the world was stunned when Michael Jackson suddenly passed away in Los Angeles. The cause was cardiac arrest, brought on by an overdose of the powerful anesthetic propofol, administered by his personal doctor. He was only 50 years old. Within hours, the internet nearly collapsed from the surge of searches and tributes. Streets around the world filled with fans singing his songs, and television networks halted regular programming to honor his memory. Though his life was complicated, Michael Jackson's artistry remains unmatched. His voice, his moves, and his genius continue to inspire new generations. His passing was more than just the loss of a superstar, it was the end of an era. Whitney Houston wasn't just a singer, she was the voice. Her soaring vocals, flawless range, and emotional delivery made her one of the greatest vocalists the world has ever known. With over 200 million records sold, Whitney gave the world timeless classics like I Will Always Love You, Greatest Love of All, and How Will I Know? She broke barriers as the first woman in music to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200 and inspired generations of artists who still call her their blueprint. But behind the glamour, awards, and standing ovations was a woman fighting her own battles. Fame placed her under relentless pressure. Her marriage to Bobby Brown turned turbulent, and addiction slowly eroded her health and career. The world watched in heartbreak as the brightest star of the 80 Seconds and 90 Seconds struggled to keep her light shining. On the 11th of February 2012, the eve of the Grammy Awards, tragedy struck. Whitney was found lifeless in the bathtub of her Beverly Hills hotel suite. She was only 48. The official cause was drowning, with drugs and alcohol in her system. Fans wept openly, and the music industry stopped to grieve a legend gone too soon. Whitney's death became one of the most haunting reminders of how fame can both elevate and destroy. Yet her voice, immortal and unshakable, continues to echo every time her songs play. Paul Walker wasn't just a movie star, he was a symbol of charisma and humility. As Brian O'Connor in the Fast and Furious franchise, he became a global heartthrob, known for his boyish smile and effortless charm. Audiences loved him for his action-packed performances, but those who knew him admired his kindness even more. Off-screen, Paul lived quietly, dedicating himself to humanitarian work and disaster relief through his charity Reach Out Worldwide. On the 30th of November 2013, tragedy struck. While attending a charity event for typhoon victims, Paul took a ride in a Porsche Carrera GT with a close friend. Moments later, the car lost control and crashed in Santa Clarita, California. Both men died instantly in the fiery wreck. Paul was only 40. The news shook Hollywood and devastated fans across the globe. His unfinished work on Fast and Furious 7 became a bittersweet farewell. With the help of his brothers, the film was completed, and its emotional ending set to "See You Again" served as one of the most powerful cinematic tributes ever made. Paul Walker's death wasn't just the loss of a star, but of a man whose kindness matched his fame. Heath Ledger was a rare talent, a chameleon who completely disappeared into his roles. From Brokeback Mountain to A Knight's Tale, he brought raw humanity to the screen. But it was his role as the Joker in The Dark Knight that forever changed cinema. His chilling performance, with its twisted laughs and haunting intensity, was hailed as one of the greatest in film history. Yet, the brilliance came at a cost. To embody the Joker, Heath pushed himself into darkness, battling insomnia and emotional strain. He turned to a dangerous cocktail of prescription medications to cope. On the 22nd of January, 2008, Heath was found dead in his Manhattan apartment. He was only 28. The world mourned not just a star, but a genius whose career was only beginning to reach its peak. His Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, awarded posthumously, felt like both a celebration and a heartbreak. Heath Ledger's Joker remains unforgettable, but his death stands as one of Hollywood's most tragic what-ifs, a reminder of how even the brightest flames can burn out far too soon.